It is still part of our morning show right here on the Flow of God's on Stay Flow 94.9 FM discussion segment. Of course, let's talk politics. It is Wednesday, the third official work day of the week right here, of course, in Nigeria. Wherever you're listening, we're also live online, www.facebook.com/Flow949FM. Welcome to the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, convergence of perspectives right here. We do this every Monday, every Wednesday, and also every Friday right here on the Flow of God's on State, Flow 94.9 FM. My name is Michael Oni. This morning we're talking politics. Of course, our ears are very much on ground. The political space in Abia State is well charged ahead of 2023. So much of declaration, even at the national level, but we're so much concerned about what is happening in Abia State. If you look at declaration from all sides, all senatorial districts, not minding the zoning arrangement of some political parties, and also the question of Abia leadership comes to mind at this point in time. And it is a time to chart the right narrative ahead of 2023. And the question we're asking this morning, is it about zoning or competence? That's a big question many Abians are asking, looking at the declaration, not minding where the governor of the present governor is coming from, talking about Obingwa local government. If you've been a follower of events, of course, Senator Enyinanya Baribe coming from the same senatorial district, and also local government as Governor Okeze Pazo is coming from, just like other persons from Abia North, Abia South, Abia Central. They've also made their intentions known ahead of 2023. So welcome on board. Let's begin the conversation this morning. The question, the Abia leadership question, is the topic of discussion this morning. Joining me this morning is Chief Eme Uche Honor. He's the president of Mben Political Assembly, of course, a think tank group of all Ohafia professionals, non-political, and therefore cuts across membership from all political divide. Glad to have you join us, Chief. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Yeah, thank you, Oni. Thank you very much. And how do you do?
I'm fine. We're doing very fine. Glad to have you join us on the platform on Flow FM. Let's begin the conversation. In recent days, we have witnessed declaration of interest for Abia governorship in 2023, starting from the Senate Minority Leader, Senator Enyinanya Baribe, to other aspirants from Abia North. The dominant question is the Charter of Equity here, rotation of power, and which part of the state takes the next slot. So what should be the discussion now? Competence or origin or place of origin, Chief?
Well, let me just start from give you the answer from the last question that you posed.
Okay.
The two should come together, competence and the zone that one comes from. The two often will go pari passu. But let me just put it on notice that the Constitution guarantees distinguished Senator Enyinanya Baribe the right, to declare to contest the governorship election. As you rightly pointed out, Mben Political Assembly (MPA) is a think tank, and you do know, some of the duties and roles that think tank organizations or groups play. First of all, we've been able to conduct a lot of research, and we have understood, especially in the developing countries, which Nigeria also is one. You see, one of the main reasons why you keep having violence and insecurity in Africa, especially in Nigeria, when people have this sense of injustice being meted against them, when there is no equity, when there is no justice, when there is no fairness. Yes, like I rightly pointed out, using distinguished Senator Enyinanya Baribe as an example, of course, completely within his purview to express interest to contest. Good and fine, but there is this Rotary Club. I don't know how I'm not a member of the Rotary Club. Is it fair? Is it this? I think it's four items that they often mention. Is it fair for Right Honorable distinguished Senator Enyinanya Baribe to throw his hat into the ring at this time? And to me, it is not fair. It is not justiciable at all. Now look at the way we have been doing it in Abia State. Started from Abia North, it went to Abia Central, So much so that even the former governor has taken this appellation of father of equity. And you see, it has been a very seamless transition from one governor to the other, from one to the other, and now to the incumbent governor, who I believe, is doing his best to develop the state. But the right thing, I believe, for every right thinking Abian is that he should naturally come back to where he started. It is Abia North. And incidentally, I'm from Abia North, and some of us are from Abia North. That is the only way, Mr. Oni, that is the only way to engender the peaceful, relationship that has existed in this state. Thank you. So far,
you said a peaceful relationship that has existed based on rotation. Now the question is based on rotation of a political party. Do not forget that it's about charter of equity here, and some pundits have come out to say it is an arrangement of a political party, talking about the PDP. Then it should not bind on other political parties.
Well, you are very correct. But let me also point out that this charter of equity, the other political parties, especially APC, APGAN, should immediately key into it, because we have found out, like I say, MP is a think tank. In fact, the only way to maintain peaceful relationship is when you there is a popular saying in Igbo land, or soup is sweet. When I lick a little, then the others will also lick. So when you allow just one person, one group, or one zone to be licking at, those are the things that cause problem, in any society, in any community. So I will advise APC, the other political parties, to key into this. We have seen that it works very well. Let me use this typical example to illustrate what I'm saying. With all due respect to the former governor of Ebonyi State, Mr. Martin Elechi.
Yes.
I think I got the name well.
You got it right.
Yes. When he was about to leave, because I've been following the political trend in Nigeria.
Okay.
He wanted to have a successor from a different zone. You know that Ebonyi Central and Ebonyi North had taken the shots, and it was just natural to have it go to Ebonyi South, where the present governor comes from. He did all his best to make sure that it didn't go that way, and he lost both the political structure as a politician and respectfully too, he became one of politically irrelevant in the state. If not for the doggedness of the present governor of Ebonyi State, Engineer Umahi, who fought tooth and nail, and the people of Ebonyi State, saw reasons with him, and they elected him as their governor from Ebonyi South. So if it had not gone this way, chances were that there would have been a little less skirmish or problem in Ebonyi State. So I campaign strongly that this thing should go from one zone to the other, just like that. It's just 8 years. Abia North will give it back to Abia Central, and Abia South will take it again. No, it doesn't belong to any particular person.
Okay.
Yes.
Interestingly, we also have intra-rotation. If from what you're conversing for comes to the light now that, okay, the power is rotated and it's given to Abia North, where do you think it should go? I understand Isikwata are also clamoring for power to come to them, and also Ohafia, where you're coming from. I mean, the political assembly where you are the president, and I understand that it's a think tank with a primary focus on politics that affect Ohafia Udumeze. So where do you think it should go to? There might be a bit of crisis there if political parties finally agree that it should be zoned to Abia North Senatorial District.
Well, that's another good one. That is what the politicians call microzoning, isn't it?
Exactly, you're correct.
Microzoning. Yeah, we have also taken a look at the political dynamics in the Abia North. Ohafia local government, where I come from,
yes,
is Ohafia in particular is the largest city, the third largest city in Abia State, after Umuahia and Aba. My brother, Ohafia to the voting strength from Ohafia local government is also unimaginable, very high, humongous. We have also taken notice of the fact that there are 5 local governments in Abia
North. Yes.
Yeah, the former governor, the first governor, that is Senator Oyuke Ojuzokalo from Bende. Do you know that consistently Ohafia local government we have supported the Umunnochi axis, where Senator and the Sukwata axis, where Senator Uchechukwu Merije elsewhere for like 12 years after Senator Ikemachukwu. Not minding that Ohafia is the headquarters of the Abia North. Ohafia local government is the headquarters. But we gave them all the support, Umunnochi and Isukwata. Come to Arochukwu. We gave Arochukwu all the needed support. Senator Mao Wabunwa, all that we have had, deputy this, deputy that. Ohafia was deputy governor. Ohafia is deputy governor. Ohafia deputy speaker. You also have former deputy chief of staff. May you so rest in peace. Let Chief Okayago. So, and we are saying that it's about time we started to talk of, get into the substantive position. It's not all about deputy. Ohafia, we have eminently qualified people, professionals. And come to think of it, if we have to take a holistic review of, what's been going on in terms of government positions in Abia North. During the military, though some people ask us to discountenance that, but no. During the military, all the military governors from Abia that have ever, held positions, they are all from Isukwata, Umunnochi axis. We have never had it. Ohafia has never had it that good. The other one from Ibere, where the former governor also comes from. So we believe it's about time we negotiate with them. We reach out to them. We are not saying it as of right, it must be Ohafia, but we are just putting all these things on the table so that every right-thinking person will appreciate, where we are coming from. Thank you.
Interesting. So it's about Ohafia as we speak. But let's look at the dangers of not zoning, not abiding by the Charter of Equity put together by the founding fathers of Abia State. And are there dangers if parties are saying, well, we're throwing it open, looking at the fact that it has gone round? It has gone from Abia North to Abia Central and also Abia South. If they are saying, okay, we're throwing it open, are there dangers to this?
I wish I were a lawyer. I would have quoted off memory a particular chapter in our constitution that encourages this federal character issue. And it went further to stipulate the advantages that come with abiding strictly to this. He said it engenders loyalty. Somebody spoke on that yesterday on television, and it just clicked. Loyalty. If for any reason, which we don't see it, happening, that the political parties, decide not to field somebody from Abia North, chances are that it will not all go well with the state.
Loyalty. What exactly do you mean by loyalty?
Loyalty is that whoever becomes the governor may be having all manner of distractions in terms of opposition, criticisms every now and then. So look at what is happening. Well, sorry to use this example too. Look at what is happening in our neighboring state, Imo State. What is the security situation in that state? Some people have traced it to, we may not go so much into it, but you do not have so much loyalty to the governor. That's in my own paraphrase, and it's my personal opinion. The reason why Senator Uzodinma is having challenges here and there, I don't think there is that consensus and general loyalty, amongst Imolites. So we don't want such to replicate in Abia. Abia State is a very, we want to, let me use the opportunity to thank the government of Abia State, Dr. talk as it as I don't know, whatever magic wand he has used to put this in place, this state has been relatively very peaceful, and we thank him for that.
Okay, now the question of leadership is what we're asking this morning on the platform about Abia leadership ahead of 2023 general election. Of course, the discussion has started, the conversation has started, looking at the early declaration being made by several stakeholders, of course, declaring their intention and making it public that, well, we want to become the governor. And we've been speaking with a stakeholder as far as the polity is concerned right here in Abia State. He's from Abia North Senatorial District, and he believes that power should rotate to Abia North Senatorial District. We've been speaking with Chief Uche Honor. He's the president Mben Political Assembly, a think tank group of all Ohafia professionals, non-political, and therefore cuts across membership of all political divide. Now, Chief, I want to ask you this very pertinent question. Many are of the school of thought and they've argued that the governorship seat has gone round and it should be thrown open. We should, if after throwing it open, any senatorial district that gets it, then we can start from there and talk about rotation again.
So many people have canvassed that in the past, and you see, it is not only very laughable, but it's I see a great danger in that. You see, those people that are canvassing this position are people that I see as being very, very insincere, honestly speaking. You see, there are some advantages derivable from holding some political, like the governor, for example. He comes from the other side, Sanangwama. Chances are also that if you throw it open, naturally he may want to support his brother using the instrumentalities of government. So you see that the weaker vessels will now feel shortchanged, completely shortchanged, and they may resort to all manner of behavior or actions that will not all go well. So we still see rotation. We still see, honestly, this MPA still sees rotation as the best option. Yes.
But you believe that there should be rotation in Abia State and it should go to Abia North. Some other persons are of the school of thought that yes, we should continue rotating the governorship seat in Abia State, but it should be along the old Bende and the old Abba zones. Now you know where I'm coming from. I'm sure you must have heard this school of thought also from some pundits that it wasn't on the basis of senatorial districts. I'm talking about the document now, the Charter of Equity. It was on the basis of old Bende and the old Abba zone, in which the old Abba zone is yet to enjoy 16 years as enjoyed by old Bende. If we are going to look at it along that line, I don't know which of the lines you're basing your rotation, your clamor for rotation now on this morning, Chief.
Very well. You see, when the chiefs were down,
yes,
we just realized people trying to sneak in things that never existed. The Abia Charter of Equity was put in place when the Bonny State was not yet created, and it took their interest, into consideration. But soon after that was, Ebonyi State was carved out of the old Imo and Abia State. Then the dynamics, the narrative of the Abia Charter of Equity changed. Those that are talking about Ngwa, Opangwa, and Odbende are not being sincere to themselves. They are not just being sincere to themselves.
Why do you say so?
The reason I'm saying that is that the moment Ebonyi State left, the narrative naturally changed. Remember, the Abia Charter of Equity is more of quasi written agreement But the truth of the matter is that it is an unwritten agreement that was agreed and rewritten by the initial the people that first sponsored it. And let Anagezikbo of Abia just die recently. I wish we were still alive. We would have given more Philip to what I'm talking about. So I'm saying that it's an act of sincerity on the part of whoever is canvassing for Kwango and Old Bende. No, it is not reason. It's on senatorial zone. The rotation is on senatorial zone. Thank you, Oni.
All right. So, so much of consultations, I'm sure, are ongoing in Ohafia. Maybe you should let us into that. Do you have specifically someone you're pushing? I mean, as an organization, Umben Political Assembly, or probably how you're going to ensure that the governorship seat, I mean, among the political parties, is zoned to your senatorial district and maybe micro zones to Ohafia?
You're just trying to make me repeat what I've already said.
No, I'm asking if you have any favorite candidates now among all the candidates. Obviously, you're against Senator Anyabaribe becoming the governor along as zoning arrangement. But then, do you have any other favorite candidates among those that have declared their intention, or maybe those that are hoping and still waiting to declare their intention?
Yeah, at the right time we are going to look at the resume antecedent for all across party lines.
Okay.
Like I told you. Yes, we are neither of P of APC nor any other, but across party line. When all those who are interested, show up, they will be able to. We already have developed a template which we are going to use to adjudge, the antecedents of some of these aspirants. We have a template, about 10 line templates we are going to look at, and then anyone that is more fitting, honestly will mobilize seriously for the person.
Are the people ready? Are the people ready for power shift to their side? Because one thing is for you to be clamoring for power shift to Ohafia and of course to Abia North Senatorial District, and the people are not ready. Are they ready to support whoever comes from that zone, from that end?
That's why we have already started consulting.
Okay.
Last week I led a delegation of MPA. We visited some stakeholders in Abia. We are consulting.
Interesting.
We are consulting. Yeah.
All right, Chief, I want to really appreciate you for your time this morning on the program, the platform. Thank you very much. We will reach out to you as the event unfolds, especially as far as your agitation is concerned for a power shift to Abia North Senatorial District. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning on the platform.
God bless you, Oni. Yeah, it's my pleasure, Oni.
Thank you very much. All right, that's it. You heard him. Of course, we're going to continue the conversation. I have one more person to talk to this morning on the platform. It is the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. You heard the president of Umben Political Assembly, a think tank group of all Ohafia professionals, non-political, and therefore cuts across membership. Of course, the think tank with a primary focus on politics as it affects Ohafia Udumeze. The vision is to position Ohafians as the leading political awareness and of course active dominant group in Abia State. Even as the group is also pushing for power shift to Abia North Senatorial District. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. So much of intrigue, so much of consultations ongoing, especially right here in Abia State. One might be saying it is too early because the governor of the state is still in power. But then, how early it is? Do you think it is early? Well, maybe, just maybe. But then we'll take a break now. When we continue, we will return to continue the conversation this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. Yes, indeed, it is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, right here on Flow 94.9 FM, Wednesday edition. And the Abia leadership question and the contentious charter of equity is what we're discussing this morning on the Flow of God's own state. Part of our morning show anyways. You can follow the conversation on our Facebook page, facebook.com Flow 949 FM. It's about politics ahead of the 2023 general elections, and the political space is getting charged, even as we've had politicians declaring their intention ahead of the 2023 general elections, not bearing in mind that Zekwazu's administration is winding out, and the question of zoning comes to mind at this point in time. So we have joining us this morning a citizenship-based national platform and the Director General of a citizenship-based national platform that believed in engagement of the citizens to hold leadership accountable as INEC election observer. Also Director General of Flag Foundation, Chris Agiri. Glad to have you join us. Welcome, Mr. Chris, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much, Flow FM. Happy New Year
to
Flow FM crew, and Happy New Year to Abians.
Thank you very much for joining us. So let's start from your background. Given where we are at the moment, what quality should we seek in the man or woman that would take over from Governor Ezekwazu come 2023?
Yeah, okay. Well, straight to your question, in the midst of all, I speak as an authentic Abia citizen, even from the Ngwa extraction.
Okay.
You know, it is also time for Abians at home and in diaspora to x-ray how far so far, beginning from 99 to death, which is about 23 years. Yes, the Abia Charter of Equity, right, but going forward, this is the time for us to look for competence in terms of who can deliver, who can save Abia from the current sorry state that Abia state is, and somebody who also have commitments and love for the people, and then passion for the job. Beyond all said and done, we're also looking at who is that person, where is he coming from, what is his pedigree, what is on record, you know, how far the person had fared in other fields of human endeavor. Because in Abia State, you have people who are professional politicians. Most of politicians in Abia don't have any second address. They are just politicians. And so it is high time that we get away from that standpoint and look for somebody who have passion for the job, who have love for the people, who have the competence to be able to lead Abians at this point in time, and somebody who also have a track record of having delivered in the person's previous engagements, either in public life or in private life.
In your analysis, are you ruling out zoning?
Yes, zoning is one thing, because of course you see the Southeast clamoring for, you know, the power shift and all the rest of them.
Yes.
I'm not particular about zoning, because in every part of Abia you get people who are good enough. If we're even talking about zoning now, I will share the sentiments of the Sukwato, you know, the Sukwato axis, because the Sukwato then used to be in the old Okigwe province, and I remember during the movement for Abia leadership, one Chief Rufus Obi was one of the chemists, pharmacists, was a famous businessman at Abia, the ones that I think instrumental to getting that Sukwato angle into Abia. Yes, we have tried at all the other Old Bend and Abba division, and then the Sukwato, can also be given a chance. But that's not to say that for me, the core priority is not even zoning, but who can deliver Abia. Even if you narrow it down to zoning, assuming we are considering the Sukwato angle, who amongst them, their sons and daughters that have all it takes, you know, to be able to deliver Abia. Because let's get it straight, Abia is in bondage and needs to be delivered. It's time we begin to tell ourselves the bitter truth, away from sentiments and emotions, or whether you are from Old Bende or Umahia or Ungwa or Isikuato or from wherever you come from. It is time for us to get to the basics, because believe it or not, our state, Abia State, God's own state, is ridiculed in the Committee of States in Nigeria. For us that operate at the national level, whenever we gather among the Igbo intellectuals, they make mockery of us. The question is, do we have men in Abia? The Anambarians, the people from Enugu, even from Imo, do we really have people in Abia? Say for instance, Abba, believe it or not, records are there. It's the economic hub of the southeast. Abba, the totality, that natural endowment that is embedded in the Igbo man. The Igbo man's creativity, the Igbo man's innovativeness, the Igbo man's entrepreneurial spirit, the Igbo man's, commercial orientedness was emptied at Abba. Abba is the melting point of whatever the Igbos represent. Look at Abba today. There's no access road at Abba. There's no access road now. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Whatever be the challenge of the current leadership, I am not exonerating him. He should be held accountable. The previous leadership in Abia State, beginning from 99, the Senate Chief Whip, His Excellency Joseph Okalo, and then distinguished Senator and His Excellency T.L.G., down to the current, I call them the triple O's, the Joseph Okalo, then T.L.G. and Okezib, as the three O's. None of them is free. None of them will be free until Abia is free. Because let's take an X-ray. Let's X-ray the Abia as it is today. Tell me any remarkable project initiated by the Abia State government for the past 23 years, a remarkable project that is people-oriented, that is up and running, socialized, built and up and running to the benefit of the people for the past 23 years. Is there any? To the extent that even the government house, the Abia State government house, there are rumors yet to be confirmed that it's still on rent. The Abia State government house is still on rent. The Abia State government for the past 23 years cannot even build a government house from where the government business, is operated from.
It's been run.
Come on, man. Come on.
Okay.
It's too bad. Please forget my emotions. But let's tell ourselves the bitter truth that the Abia leadership from 99 have failed themselves, failed Abians, and it's not yet hurrah for them. It is not. Yes.
All right,
Take it from me, it is not
emotional. But let's look at you saying that you do not exonerate in your analysis. You do not exonerate the three O's in your analysis. But the question now is the early declaration. Is it not a distraction for the present administration in the state? Question some pundits are saying, why not allow the present administration to land before, probably at the tail end, probably 2 months before winding up before coming out to say, yes, I'm interested in your seat. That's some sort of distraction. I don't know how you want to react to this from a citizen's angle. Mr. Chris.
Yeah, well, I tell you, from the INEC timetable,
yes,
the Abia governorship election will be about 13 months time. The next election to Abia leadership should be about 13 months time. It's even late, for people that are interested to begin to come up. There's nothing like distraction. I mean, whom are we distracting? For example, Okezib, as my brother, yes, has been did for 6 years, 6 years plus, 6 years and 6 months or thereabout. And so, what kind of distraction? Who is distracting who?
Okay, look, you're a keen follower of events as it is happening, especially politically in Abia State. As we speak, looking at the crop of persons that have come out to declare their intention in Abia State, do you think the right conversation is holding among Abians towards finding the ideal person, looking at the characteristics that you've listed this morning on the platform?
Yeah, well, to be honest to you, I am yet to see those who are clearly, unambiguously, stated their stance that they are interested in the seat. We want to see them. We want to see serious-minded people. And then as many. Let's say, for instance, the last Anambra Super election.
Yes.
Just look at the crop of guys that Anambra presented. Of course, I was. Let me digress a little. Flo FM, you guys are here to sort me out. I was your field reporter in the Anambra Guba election.
Okay.
Just look at what transpired there. We narrowed down with this crop of guys. Yes, who beyond the APC candidates that and the rest of the other guys were good enough. So that's what we want to look at. We don't want professional politicians any longer, because they've failed us. What you have in Abia is a recycling of the same set of people that are to be. With due respect to them, I doubt from 99 to death, most of the people that have occupied the leadership at all strata of the 3 tiers of government and 3 layers of government, and even the 3 tiers of government, I doubt whether they really understand what is meant by public good. Public good, their sense of public good and public goodness, which is the core, the reason for leadership. I doubt whether they really understand that. So, because if you look at the indices for development, are there new markets built in Aba or in any part of Abia, modern markets? Are there roads, accessible roads?
Okay, Mr. Chris, quickly,
people.
just before I let you go this morning, looking at the statistics that we have, in the past, right here in Abia State, we've had situation where a few decide for the majority, in the sense that we have a high percentage of voter apathy in Abia State. So you will understand the angle I'm coming from now. A few decide for the majority. On election day, people do not come out. And looking at what the people are saying on the street, they've lost hope in the electoral process. Is there any way that can change ahead of 2023, or it has changed? Looking at some of the reviews being done by the present INEC leadership.
Yeah, the point is that the voter apathy is a general challenge, and that because people believe that their votes don't count, and then having lost a confidence in the leadership. Say, for instance, that of Abia. That was something we discovered some few months back when INEC started the new voter registration. Do you know that when some other states are recording 250,000, 300,000, some heading to 500,000 additional voters, Abia was the worst with about 12,000. 12,000. In other words, Abia will no longer be strategic in terms of, even in presidential election, which is what matters, that how many votes did you turn out? How many votes did you turn out? People are so uninterested in that. But let me tell you, the issue of few vote sizing, from Anambra experience, I was there live and direct. I put my life online for Anambra last Dubai election, 6th November.
Yes.
Anambra election was free and fair. The new INEC upgraded card reader, which is the device, was there. The issue of rigging is a thing of the past. The politicians, they still deceive themselves. They thought the election would be the right results, and all that. It's a thing of the past. It is a thing of the past. So we have a challenge to be able to sensitize the people, mostly the young people, to devote time and make sacrifice to be captured, get your voters card, register as a voter, because your vote will count. My dear, the past is gone. The past is gone. From our number experience, your vote will count. Okay. There's nothing like manipulation. That is a past era. Now, of course, politicians will always live in the past, but the challenge in terms of Abia is even getting the younger people to
participate in the process.
And be captured. Yes, get their voter voters card, because that's the decider. That is the decider.
All right.
The era of vote result writing is gone and gone forever. That's just the truth.
All right.
And then it's also the politicians in Abia, those aspiring, those serving, should also be at the forefront of encouraging the younger ones to get their voters registered, to get their voters card, to be captured on the ongoing voter registration. Without that, you don't, even when you do not vote, you have no power, you have no right to criticize government. It is when you vote and the candidate of your choice wins, you can ask questions. In all, it is time to begin to ask questions of the past and present leadership and to demand for answers.
All right,
because
Mr.
power resides with the people.
Mr. Chris Agiri,
Yes.
I want to thank you for your analysis this morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the platform on Flow FM.
Thank you very much.
We do appreciate.
Thank you.
Chris Agiri is the Director General of Flag Foundation, a citizenship-based national platform that believed in engagement of the citizens to hold leadership accountable. Also, an election observer. At some point, he got so emotional during the conversation this morning. You can share your thoughts with me on the platform on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Flow949FM. Of course, we have a thread there. Visuals of this program is running live on our Facebook page. You can also share your thoughts with me on our feedback platforms 0808-182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. Also drop messages on 0906-510-8289. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, you're welcome.
Who's my name? I'm calling from my
All right, yes, I can hear you.
Please, let me talk on the issue of Abia State. First and second persons you called. That's what is happening in Abia from 2023. Most times it is very easy for us to come on air to talk about what happened in Abia, to talk about this. In every city, we talk about development. The development doesn't come from government alone. In as much as we are blaming our government, there are people that have been elected since the creation of Abia State. We should also know that individuals are supposed to come to invest in the city. It's not enough staying in Lagos or staying in Abuja, staying everywhere. When it comes to that, you're telling us that Abia State, the competent control will do this and do that. And if we're talking about a city that has been existing in existence in Abia State, every geopolitical zone has comfortable candidates or capable candidates that will contest to become the governor of Abia State. I am not encouraged by your last person you called, telling us that it is and that. In as much as all of us are from Abia, we all are supposed to develop the state together. Not whenever it's come to election, you see them coming on air, telling us this and this happened to Abia State. And since Abia was created, nothing has happened. Have you come to this place to make sure that you just contribute to paper in making Abia a better place or making Abia the more of work?
All right, you say, man,
and when it comes to equity, we are going to bring out people from Abia North. It is the come of Abia North to produce.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you.
Beautiful morning this morning, Mr. Mike Oni.
You're welcome. Good morning.
I'm calling from Mumbai.
All right.
I think this set of equity is not too bad in terms of accommodating it. But the only thing I still believe that before now, we know that when Kwazi came on board, that after everything, they will now try to change the narrative. You can see that now people are saying that it was old Ben and we still have Abba division. So in the sense that now they are trying to shift it, based on somebody who now declare, make his intention to contest for governorship come 2023. But all the same, if they can now believe that set of equity is existing, I think they have to maintain it. But again, is this then now they're not to that attraction. They are I is dragging, O is dragging. How they say that is their turn, and I is they are also turn. So what I'm saying is, if they cannot put their house in order, that means next time we now come to Abia Central, that's the thing will going to happen. If you say equal no more, will not be dragging.
All right.
And Abia side will not be dragging. So the better that they now allow it to rest by. If we're going to come out from Abia North, they cannot allow anyone that will now present himself well to the people. We need a one who can now do the needful, who will now come and give us the democracy. Whether party, whether or The earlier they put their house in order and allow the issue of equity to rest. That's my humble take.
All right, thank you very much for your take. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Good morning, others in the studio. If they are there, good morning, all of them.
They are listening virtually, though. All right.
All right. I still remember Mr. Prince Will from Enomona Chobo.
All right, Mr. Princewell.
Mike, I'm not here to protest and approbate myself at the same time. I believe the first person that spoke really approbate and probate himself. He said that, is it right for one to have constitutional right to contest? The answer is yes. Then the other one, the Abia of equity you are talking of. I strongly believe that the Abia of equity is a cabal decision. It's a clique decision. Either party or some people that matter in Abia State, but not the entire Abia people. So for me, I quite believe that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So I'm of the opinion for the election in any state. Like let me use my state for instance. During the time my brother was in the office, the first executive of the state, we be running through what they call equity. But at the time, that equity elapsed through the time of Rocha Pekrocha. He violated it, and today, one particular section of is still ruling, and the state is going. So for me, I'm of the opinion that they should allow anybody that comes from any angle, because what is constant in life is change.
All right.
That came from click to generality. Let it come there.
Thank you very much for your take. We do appreciate. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome. Good morning.
And I'm calling from Mwala.
All right. Okay, you're welcome.
Yes, I must commend you for this program.
Thank you.
Because it has opened the eyes of a lot of people here in Abia State about the manipulations that takes place anytime we have elections in view. I want to take you down the numeric lines. Sometime later, Dr. Martin Radize, the leader of the era of held a meeting and presented a common front at Okualangwa that Abia is two zones, that is Old Branch and the Old Abba zone. And in the history of Abia State, Old Branch always produced the leaders of this state. The campaign of has never favored the Abba Aziz. From the military to civilian, Amadi Kweche, Ike Nwachukwu, Ndubisi Kano, Prince Osondu, Emeko Mero, Kali Bamari, Amadi Kweche, people like Obenea under the government, DOI and all sorts of Kano, they are all from Old Branch. The only time the Uberman have had a taste of political leadership in Abia State is just during this occasion, from 2016, thereabout. So, if they have, one should return back to Abia. You have shortchanged the three local governments that made up the Abia Central. The three local governments from over Aziz that made up the Abia Central. You have simply shortchanged them. So, I'm saying that power shift is not good. It is good, but it should take into cognizance the lapses that exist within this Abia Central senatorial zone. That is perpetually trying to put the Aziz into separation.
Let's get reactions from others.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Osunati from Mombasa and whatnot.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you see this issue of zoning shifting power. We all know that the zoning issue is not a constitutional. It's not a constitutional in Nigeria. And when this Abia State was created, we have never ruled this state, apart from this our neighbor governor now. So if you are talking about equity, we start from the beginning. Are you getting me?
Yes, so go ahead. Quickly wrap up your thoughts.
So when we are talking about equity, we are supposed to rule like 2 times or 3 times before getting a power from another zone. So it's not constitutional zoning issue. That's what I want to say.
All right, thank you very much for your thoughts. Let's run through the messages. Hello, sir. On the issue at focus, electoral bill, the sectoral police. Well, we didn't talk about those, don't you know? Anyways, this one says, good morning. Among the three O's, it's only the first O which performed very well. Abdurazaki Fine, right? And on our Facebook page, Kachi Uchebu says, if things were right, starting from the founding fathers of Abia state leadership, there wouldn't be any need for zoning system. But be it as it may, let's stick with the Charter of Equity as passed by the Assembly House. Well, it has not been passed, just to put that the right perspective. It has not been passed by the House of Assembly. But we do appreciate you. This conversation continues. Of course, the political scene is getting so charged ahead of 2023. Join us later on this evening on the State of the Nation. That's on Journalist Rendezvous. I want to thank you very much for listening, for following the program. The program returns on Friday. Of course, we'll bring up another topic for us to dissect and also have your thoughts, your perspective right here on the floor of God's own state. Many thanks to the guys behind the visuals on our Facebook page, Solomon, Chinedu and Stanley, and also Samson Eze, who is the producer of the program. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Stay out of trouble. My name is Michael Oni.